for Claudine. And, you know, I just think that this city just deserves people like Claudine. You know what I mean? The city deserves a woman. The city deserves an Asian American woman. The city deserves the kind of diversity that Claudine is going to bring to the table. And I love the idea of being part of an occasion where we celebrate not only politics, but the arts. Because I think, we tend to be very segregated in our thinking and the way that we live our lives. We tend to segregate art from justice issues and from society and from economics and from politics and from world conflict, etc. But the best poets that I have learned from are those who have risen out of the struggle for freedom, the struggle for equality, the struggle for the values that I think all of us treasure in this room. So I applaud you, Claudine, and I thank you for inviting myself and my husband, Reverend Cecil Williams, to be part of this. Cecil and I have been at Glide for over 40 years. Cecil's been there a little longer than me. But he certainly opened my eyes to the issue of diversity and the necessity and the health and the healing qualities of diversity. Because I think we have been such a divided nation, particularly in a nation that has such a diaspora of so many different ethnic cultures, that we tend to become divided, and it becomes easier to be divided, and to find enemies, and to find ways in which we can be separated and isolated from one another. And that is easier than doing the hard work of being harmonious, as you say, of being able to integrate ourselves. And I hate that word, integrate, because, it's always like becoming the gray or the melting pot or whatever that means. I don't believe in the melting pot. I do believe that we are like, in the Chinese culinary language, is the fire pot, that we bring our different ingredients to the table, into the steam, into the hot, boiling water, and we dip in our ingredients, and the soup takes on the flavor of all of us, but we retain the integrity of who we really are. And that, to me, is real diversity. That, to me, is truly social justice. And that, to me, is truly having representation of our voices, that all must be heard. Cecil and I have worked with the poor and the marginalized for 44 years. He has been an icon of civil and human rights and social justice and working for the poor and opening doors and breaking down the walls of the church for the marginalized and for those who have been rejected by most of society. I am so blessed and privileged to have been part of that movement and to have been able to contribute to the movement that Cecil has created and been dedicated to. He's also helped me find my voice, because when I was a child, I was interned in the camp. And, I'm joking about the 1941 thing, but I was in a camp. I don't remember it. But that was one area that my family kept their silence about. And we know about this, right, Cal, right, Anita? I mean, the Asian American community does not believe in, talking about our problems and in complaining. We just get the stoic act. So we don't talk about the camps. We don't talk about the difficulties that we faced. We don't talk about domestic violence. We don't talk about incest. But I have experienced all of that. And I have to say that I think that those are the most significant aspects of my experiences, is being able to rise up from the struggles that I have experienced, that my parents have felt as Japanese Americans, incarcerated unjustly during World War II. That I, as an incest survivor, from several adult males in my family, from the age of 5 until I was 17, and also being a community that has experienced being marginalized. And having the privilege to work with a man who is an African American, whose experience also has been with ancestors that come from slavery, but also who has been raised in an institution, or who has taken on the task of challenging an institution that has been discriminatory also. So it's been a true blessing for me to experience the struggle in many levels. And it's gratifying to hear you, Claudine, talk about how we must all come to the table as equals, and how all of our voices must be represented. So, thank you. I'm honored to be here tonight.